Why do chosen ones distance themselves from the church? Many chosen ones feel disconnected from modern churches because they sense something deeper missing. Despite being in a place of worship, they often feel a lack of true spiritual connection. This discomfort isn't a loss of faith, but a sign of spiritual growth and awakening. Modern churches have often shifted their focus from faith and devotion to materialism and appearances. As a result, many spiritually sensitive people begin to seek a direct connection with God, one that doesn't rely on religious structures or intermediaries. The chosen have a unique ability to perceive what's out of alignment with divine truth. Their discomfort within the church may be a divine signal, guiding them toward a more authentic and personal spiritual path. Many chosen ones feel disconnected from modern churches because these institutions often prioritize appearances, rules, and materialism over true spiritual connection. The original purpose of the church, humble communion with God, has been lost in many places. Some churches have turned faith into a business, measuring devotion by financial sacrifice. While generosity is important, when it's demanded excessively or used to support luxury, it creates discomfort, especially for spiritually sensitive individuals. This misalignment leads many to question whether they can still find God in those spaces. These doubts are not weakness, but signs of spiritual awakening. The journey toward authentic connection may feel lonely at first, but it's the beginning of a deeper, more personal relationship with God, free from institutions that no longer resonate. Many chosen ones feel a deep conflict when churches prioritize money, power, and appearances over true spiritual values. Matthew 6:24 reminds us that we cannot serve both God and money, a truth often ignored in modern religious institutions. Lavish buildings, wealthy leaders, and constant fundraising create a disconnect for spiritually sensitive people. These actions clash with Jesus' teachings of humility, love, and service, causing the chosen to feel out of place. For them, faith is not about status or material wealth, it's about truth, surrender, and a sincere connection with God. When churches replace that with fear, guilt, or greed, the chosen are guided by divine intuition to seek a purer path. This separation from the church is not a loss of faith. It's the beginning of a deeper, more personal relationship with God. The inner flame of faith continues to burn, lighting their way forward on the spiritual journey. When chosen ones feel a disconnect between church teachings and their inner truth, it often marks the beginning of a spiritual awakening. This moment, though lonely at first, is a divine call to seek a deeper, more personal connection with God. True connection with the divine doesn't require temples, rituals, or intermediaries. God is present in silence, nature, prayer, and everyday acts of love and gratitude. Chosen ones recognize that spirituality is not about rules, but about authenticity, presence, and inner truth. Through prayer and meditation, they learn to both speak to God and listen. Though the journey may involve facing fears and doubts, it leads to a liberating realization. God's presence is constant and accessible, within and all around us. Many chosen ones are going through a spiritual awakening, questioning old religious structures and seeking a more authentic connection with God. This inner shift forms a quiet but powerful movement of people rediscovering true faith. For them, prayer and meditation are not just rituals, they are living practices that deepen spiritual connection. Prayer becomes an intimate conversation with God, while meditation helps silence the noise of the world to hear the divine more clearly. These simple acts transform the inner world, lighting up the soul and strengthening personal energy. That's why chosen ones often radiate a quiet strength and peace. Anchored in faith, they become less affected by external opinions, knowing their true power comes from walking with God. The spiritual path isn't always easy. There are days when prayer feels hard and silence feels empty. God doesn't require perfection, only sincerity. Regular prayer and meditation nurture a growing connection that brings profound inner changes. This deeper connection radiates outward, transforming how you face challenges with confidence and peace. The unique energy of the chosen inspires and comforts others, impacting everyone around them like ripples in a lake. However, being chosen doesn't mean being perfect. It means walking authentically, embracing the journey with all its ups and downs. The journey of the chosen ones involves growth, challenges, and transformation. As they deepen their connection with God, they naturally inspire others, but not everyone will understand or accept their changes. This can lead to feelings of isolation and rejection, often from those closest to them. However, this resistance is a sign of true spiritual progress, exposing shadows in others and confirming that the chosen ones are walking their authentic path. Like Jesus, they may face criticism, but are called to remain strong and faithful, knowing their journey is guided by a higher purpose. Persecuted by those who didn't understand his message or mission, Jesus faced opposition throughout his life. Likewise, the chosen ones also encounter times when they must walk against the current, even if that means being alone for a while. What you need to remember in these moments is that you are never truly alone. God is always by your side, guiding your steps and strengthening your faith. Moreover, there are other chosen ones around the world, facing the same challenges as you. Even if you don't know each other personally, the spiritual connection between you is real and powerful. Dealing with judgment and resistance requires a combination of patience, compassion, and courage. First, be patient with yourself and others. Not everyone is at the same stage of spiritual growth, and some may need time to accept your transformation. Next comes compassion. Even when faced with criticism or misunderstanding, it's important to remember that these reactions often come from fear or ignorance. Responding with kindness instead of anger or resentment can turn these interactions into opportunities to plant seeds of light in others' hearts. Being a chosen one is a journey of faith. That means trusting that God has a greater purpose for everything you're going through, even during the hardest moments. When it feels like no one understands you, keep your head held high and keep walking. Your mission is too important to be abandoned because of other people's opinions. These challenges also serve as lessons. They help you strengthen your connection with God, trust His guidance more, and depend less on people's approval. This doesn't mean becoming insensitive, but learning to prioritize what truly matters, your spiritual truth and your purpose. As the chosen ones face judgment, resistance, and misunderstanding, they begin to realize something very profound. Each obstacle is actually a piece of the puzzle that forms the greater purpose of their existence. It is no coincidence that God allows you to go through these situations. They are a way of preparing you for what is to come. The journey of the chosen is not random. From the beginning, you were called for something greater, something that transcends the material and touches the spiritual. But for this purpose to manifest in your life, you must go through a process of purification. Growth and strengthening are like polishing a diamond. Pressure reveals your inner brilliance. The greater purpose of the chosen ones usually involves helping, inspiring, and guiding others. They serve as beacons of light, attracting people who feel their energy and wisdom. Challenges along the journey become valuable lessons, making the chosen stronger and more resilient. Their actions and words create ripples that positively impact many lives, often in ways they may never fully realize. Fulfilling this mission doesn't mean a life without difficulties. Chosen ones often face more challenges due to their important role, yet divine grace supports and guides them, maintaining a strong connection with God through prayer, meditation, and reflection is essential. The answers lie within, and God is always by their side, guiding and opening new paths. Moments of deep difficulty arise as you grow spiritually, testing your faith and resilience. When life feels overwhelming and confusing, you are called to find inner strength, the true fight for the light. Even when God seems distant, His presence is closer than ever, offering silent support through intuition and inner comfort. Faith means trusting fully despite fear and doubt, knowing your mission is greater than temporary challenges. Daily prayer and meditation are vital to reconnect with the divine, renew your spirit, and guide you through dark times. Every step forward, guided by inner light, brings you closer to your spiritual truth and purpose. You don't need elaborate rituals to find peace. Simply speaking honestly to God can bring comfort. The chosen ones are called to be beacons of light in a dark world, where challenges test faith and love, but also offer opportunities to inspire others. Building a supportive spiritual community is essential, as connection with others who share your mission strengthens you through difficult times. Joining such a community lightens the burden and makes the journey more meaningful. If you feel called to grow and support others, consider joining our channel's community for exclusive content and shared spiritual growth. Together, we can walk stronger and united, lighting the path for all.